Greetings, Paul Drummond here. Welcome to this little series on banjo albums and players. Today I'm going to be looking at this little album called Sam and Alan Mundy and Sam Bush. Been a great fan of Sam Bush over the years, still love to hear him play. And on this album there's all kinds of really nice duets as well, with Sam and Alan playing. But the tune I'm going to be dealing with is called Counterblast Rag, and Alan Mundy's said that he's paying homage to ragtime with it, but it doesn't have a classic ragtime progression, so it isn't that. It's more like a jazz number, more like an early jazz number. So when I've tabbed it in jazz eights, so you got a little bit of a bounce with it. All right, now we're in G tuning. But Alan's playing it in the key of B flat, which during the 70s was a big fad to do, you know. I mean, Bill Keith recorded, you know, in B flat, and Sam Alan in B flat, and it was sort of a novel way of making, you know, going ahead with the banjo a little bit. Alright, so it's basically show you the positions we're using, and he just climbs it down. That's the tune. All we're doing, we're coming down. I've tabbed it out that way. I've taken slightly different with the second part. I'll come to that. So all you're using is the B flat, and we go to a G7, and we're climbing up through a sort of an A flat position. F minor. Now, on the tab I've put suggested fingering on this A flat position, because you've got to come down with the thumb onto the second string and cross the fingers over. You get the index finger on the third string. Okay, and then it's an F7. Diminished position, and we just kick it through again. It just goes off again. Same thing. And that's the walkthrough that gets you into the second part, which goes moves up. To the F7, B flat, G minor. Now this is the part I've changed the way that Alan Mundy plays it, and I'm going up, and I'm climbing it down to an F7. you go through again to the first part and just play it through. And the ending I've tabbed out is the same as Alan Mundy actually did it. You're coming down on a B flat. Alright. And then he uses the A flat, F to B flat to end it. So he's coming up there. So you can do it all there if you want. It's just a matter of the way I've tabbed it. It's just the way I like to play it. But the other notes are available, and just experiment moving around. And that's basically it, a Counterblast Rag. I really like this album, you know, it's like, it's very traditional. You got a few things on there that are a little bit different, but there is another tune called Foster's Real, which I've really thought about putting on this series, because I've got a good arrangement of it, really worked it up. But Sam Bush wrote that one. So when I do the fiddle tune ones I'm going to do, I've got a few unusual fiddle tunes coming a bit later in the year. I shall add the Foster's Real to that. Alright, so the idea with this series is just to rekindle interest in these albums, or get you to look, you know, the younger players don't get a chance to listen to some of these albums. So maybe that's just a way of paying homage to my early learning days with the banjo. Alright, thanks for being with me, and I'll see you next time.